welcome to episode 2, or should I say podcast 2 of the DRVN TO series. And today we have a very special guest with us, a longtime friend of mine actually, so this is really exciting. His name is Andrew Kamal.
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, man. Most
Sweet.
people say Camel. And when I was a kid growing up, people would always call the house and can I please speak to Mr. Camel? I'd be like, no, it's Kamal, and then hang up on him.
Well, we got something in common because everyone butchers my last name, Bukalo. They call me Bukalo, Buccalo, whatever the heck.
I don't even think I know how to say it right.
Yeah, dude, it is what it is. You get used to it after a while. But, yeah, you guys are going to be in for one sick podcast because this kid not only has been into cars ever since I've met him, which was, I don't know, 10 years ago?
Yeah, like 10 years, man.
Yeah, so like from the beginning of when I really started to get into cars. And he's had a lot of sick builds, and he has a very interesting story too. Overall, genuine guy. So let's get into it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I lived in San Diego for 6 years. I didn't see you for that entire time. And then prior to that, when I still lived here, I think I only hung out with you a few times in like that, you know, year or two prior. So catch me up.
I think it was the last time we went for your birthday to, what was it? Oh, man.
Bentos?
Bentos,
The sushi
yeah.
place?
When you were with the old girlfriend, you know. But
Sorry,
yeah,
Becca.
Yeah. So yeah, when we went there for your birthday, I think that was the time that you were actually getting ready to leave and go to San Diego. If I recall right.
Yeah, that could be right.
Yeah, that was the last time I think we hung out in person, and I saw you again that one time when I met up with you at Mod's Barbershop and we were playing catch up when you were, I think, starting to transition to come back to Florida.
Yeah, I was visiting. That was during COVID or just before COVID or something like that. But yeah, I remember the birthday dinner at Bento. I had the E36 M3.
Yeah.
You had, what were you driving?
I think I was driving the 180 SX build, the S13 build.
Yeah. Such a sick build. Which, for you guys listening in on the podcast, you should definitely start watching these podcast videos on YouTube because we're gonna put up a picture of that car right now.
Yeah.
Dude, that build in itself, one of the most clean S13 builds I've ever seen. This guy, I mean, you could explain it better than me, but every single bolt was replaced with like an OEM bolt on that thing new.
Yeah, due to working at Nissan, I would just get a paycheck. You know, this is when I was young and dumber. You know, I'm still young and dumb now, but when I was young and dumber, I would just get a paycheck, a bonus check. I would go into parts. I would just order 10, 15, 20 different parts from little clips, nuts, bolts, plastic fender liners, all of everything you could think of that you can buy new for a 1992 Nissan 240SX. I bought it all. And I built that car in a storage center.
I remember
don't know
that.
if you remember that over there
Yeah.
in Winter Garden.
Yeah.
People couldn't believe the quality that came out of it and the amount of people that actually helped me build it, from the text to Nissan to my friends to using that fender roller that I got from you that one time from the S14.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You know what was so funny about that day is that I ended up borrowing. Went to your house to use the fender liner, right? And then right after that, I was like, wait, can I just take it home? Right? And you were like, yeah, you could take it home. So we sat there and rolled the fenders of my S14 in your driveway, hot as fuck, with the umbrella.
Yeah.
You remember the umbrella? You were holding it for me and Kevin. And I was like, man, when I went home that day, me and Kevin both looked at each other and we said, why didn't we just do this in my garage? It was hilarious. I would never forget that. I think about it, and I don't even own that fender roller anymore. I left it at Nissan and somebody stole it.
Actually, dude, that was a legit fender roller.
It was.
That's unfortunate.
It was, man.
See, those were the good times, though. Like, looking back on building cars back then and being into cars, like, I know one of my friends that I met early on in the car scene, shout out Sergio. He was, like, one of the first dudes to have a E92 M3 and, like, slam it and, like, do crazy stuff to it and, like, buckled his quarter panel on a wheel once when he was going to meet. Like, the thing was...
Wasn't Sergio the one who had the Integra or the RSX? Or there was one kid...
He had an Audi before that. He had some A4 or something. I can't recall. But the whole point of this was that him and his buddies started this, like, little hashtag back in the day saying, like, the scene was more fun when we were broke or something like that.
Yeah.
And I never understood that really because I was always broke up until now, really. But I get it now. You know what I mean? It's like as we've gotten older, we've bought better cars. It's become easier to build cars. We've had access to a lot more stuff, blah, 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 blah. But it's like those struggles of sweating our nuts off in these, you know, situations or just working with what we had is part of the fun. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I remember couple of friends of mine, when we went to a car meet in Miami, we legit slept in our cars on South Beach waiting for the meet to open in the morning. And
Didn't you meet me there at it was you met me and
Chevo, no?
Chevo Emil, yeah, you guys met me. I was there by myself. I drove a mod's car all the way to the
RX-7?
No, I drove the S2000 and I set up the tent.
It could be.
And then you guys pulled up after, and it was like our first time being like Slam District, which is something we'll talk about later if you want to. But yeah. You pulled up and
I'm going to angle this just in case. There you go.
Okay, yeah. You pulled up and Chevo pulled up and we set up the tent and everything. And I don't even think Ahmad and his family was even there yet. And the meet had already started. I think they showed up after the meet. Like, you guys, I don't know if we're going to talk about Ahmad or anything like that.
Absolutely.
But that guy is the latest person I know to anything. You can have a party that start at 10 o'clock and ends at 2 p.m., and he's going to be there at 3 o'clock.
Listen. He's going to be on the podcast. We'll be doing a video with him soon, too. Love the guy, but I can't deny that.
Well, be ready for him to be late for that one. He's definitely going to be late.
Well, Dylan and I will make sure to tell him be there at 10 a.m. and we'll be ready at 12.
Yeah, man.
That's funny.
There's so many old stories that, from cars that I resonate just like joy from.
Yeah,
Cars brings me so much joy in my life, and my life might revolve around cars. I have cars in my house. I've got cars that I go to work and look at. I've got, different things that I just go to help my dad with cars and stuff like that. It's like cars bring me so much joy. And one thing I'm really blessed to have is that my girlfriend sitting in the back over here, soon to be, we're going to be having a child.
Congrats.
She loves them too, and when I want to go to a car meet or go to something, she's like, yeah, let's go.
You found a keeper, man. That's a big deal. Seriously. That's a huge deal, because I'll tell you what, I don't think any car enthusiasts like us could truly date someone and be successful in a relationship if their partner does not understand, at least to a certain extent, the fascination or the love they have for that whole community. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, she supports me buying random $1,000 parts here and there, and she's like, if that's what's gonna make you happy, go ahead and buy it. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna make me happy for like 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna want to buy more parts. But it's a never-ending cycle,
Facts, man. But yeah, it's to get a little deeper into the whole car thing, I can tell you with confidence, looking back on my life, the amount of impact cars has had on my life is actually almost ridiculous. Like 90% of my friends that I've made over the past 10 years are hands down all through cars. And the amount of impact cars has had and helped in terms of my mental health is also mind-blowing. I mean, I can tell you right now, anytime I've ever been really going through like a tough time, whether it's relationship based or financially or whatever it is, right? Getting in my car, going for a drive, or just tinkering with my car and messing around was like the ultimate getaway, was the best thing for me to do. And I feel like you could probably relate to that, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of times where I'm frustrated about something from work, or just like, I just don't want to be home, but I don't want to go outside and spend $1 million on something, or go to dinner at a restaurant that I've been to, 10 times already. Yeah. Me and my girl will get in one of the cars and we just go for a drive. We might not have a direction. We just get out and turn right, turn left, go down for 10 minutes, come back. It's just get out of the house, and the 100%. Car brings me joy just by just driving in it. And then, you get the people that give you the thumbs up and stuff like that, and it gives you like, oh, yeah. This is a little nice,
adrenaline boost.
Yeah, you get the little adrenaline boost, or, the new kids with the pops and the bangs on every single, tune that they do nowadays. It's just, I don't understand it. Everybody wants a burble tune and all that stuff. It's not even good for the engine if you know mechanics of cars anyways. But, it's just, you get in your car, you go for a drive, or you get in your car and you fix it. Or you get in your car and you break it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God.
One of the above,
you get in your car, you do all of those things, but from breaking it to driving it to fixing it, it's just like, I enjoy every moment of it. It's like my life.
Yeah, me too. And that's why it's like, it almost sounds ridiculous sometimes saying it, but car people can relate to what we're saying. And that's the thing, is like, it's the ultimate getaway, and it's the ultimate place of comfort and peace at times, like, I'm not ashamed to say, I see a therapist, and I did on and off for several years now. And recently my therapist asked me, she was trying to do some type of special therapy with me. I forget what it's called. But
I never knew that.
What?
First time that you were a soul therapist.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not something I usually tell people. Everyone goes through things, but she's like, okay, we need to find your one place of peace, your one safe haven, your one place you can go to in your head whenever you're, dealing with something or whatever. You want to guess where that would be?
Inside of your car.
Literally in my driver's seat in my car. And so then she'd have me, imagine me holding onto my steering wheel, looking at my dashboard, blah, 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 blah. And, I mean, yeah, I don't know how much more I can say about just cars have had such an impact on my life that it's something that I can tell you right now until I'm 90 to 100 years old will be a part of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like my dad. He's like 65 now and 66, I think. I always forget. That's how good of a son I am.
Still young.
He still's buying cars. He was talking about buying another car just recently, and I'm just like, Dad, you've got. He built just like I want to do this driveway on the side of my house. He built a driveway, an extra garage outside of his house. He built all this stuff. He even put AC in the extra garage so the cars can have AC, and that's his happy place. And he likes coming over to my house, which is like a 45-minute drive, so he can drive a different car, get it out of the garage, and then that's like his happy place. And he always comes over here. Like just recently, he came over with a part from his Z4. And it's like a mesh netting piece. And he was like, yeah, I don't want to spend $600 to buy a new one. Let's just sew this one that I have and fix it. I don't know how to sew. He showed me how to do the needle, but I used my, my brain to figure out, okay, well, if we sew it this way, it's going to work.
Right.
And, that's all car guys, from the old ones to the new ones to the up-and-coming ones. Like, hopefully my unborn daughter, she's going to be a car girl. That's what I'm praying for.
That's a fact, yeah. Absolutely.
She can be a car girl, and that'll be her happy place too. But, hey, to each his own.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Yeah, well, we'll talk cars a little more in our actual drive.
Oh, yeah.
But let's get a little bit into your business side of things. Start us from what was your first job you ever had? Also, I always like asking this. Let everyone know what your first car was that you ever had, and then kind of guide us through your career path a little.
Yeah, no problem, man. So I started my career path getting a first job with one of my friends. We already mentioned Ahmad, his uncle. It was like a fabric warehouse. It was a sweatshop. It was horrible. Like, when I would take my break, there wasn't even an air-conditioned room to be in. It was horrible. We used to cut fabric, like basketball material, short fabric and stuff like that, or like blind material, stuff like that. And that was one of my first jobs. But I'll never do that again. But you always got to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely, dude. It makes you appreciate where you're at now.
Yeah, then I started to like make pizza, got into valet. I started to step into where I would be getting into a car industry. Then I got fired from my valet job,
Hold on, I got to stop you real quick. Just so you guys all know, same here. I did valet for 3 years. Decent money. As a car guy, you love driving cars. I mean, in Florida, it was miserable because you were hot as hell, dying, and then it'd pour on you 10 minutes later. Yep. But, dude, I worked at every hotel, the Ritz, the Four Seasons, the Hard Rock, literally every hotel. And yeah, let's just say I did end up getting fired.
Yeah, so I ended up getting fired. And that was when I was just, like, graduating high school. And I didn't know, like most guys that are 17 to 20 usually don't know what they're going to do with their life. I'm pretty sure at that point of your age, you were like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, maybe I'm going to go to college.
Yeah.
So, I was already at Valencia, getting my AA, and I decided to go work for Nissan because one day I was on like a depressed, fitness walk type thing. And this guy I know that owns a 1998 Nissan 240SX, a Kookie. He still owns it too. This guy's name's Colin. He saw me walking. He pulled over on the side of the road, and he was like, what are you doing out here? Like, he just asked me, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you out here in the middle of the road? Like, you're like 20 minutes from your house, bro. Because he knew where I lived, and he lived in that direction. And he's like, so you got fired from your job. I told him the whole story.
Yeah.
You got, $1,000 to your name. You don't have no money. And I told him that I wanted to join the military. I'm going to just enlist. He said, the military is for runaways, people who run away from their problems. They have no choice but to just go there, collect some money. And it really hit me. I was like, damn, yeah, I'm not a bitch, I'm going to take what's going on and figure it out.
Sure. No offense to anyone in the military.
Yeah, no offense.
Yeah.
Appreciate your service, everybody out there. I have two brother-in-laws that are in the service, and they do great, But I ended up, he ended up offering me, he said, hey, my friend Derek, which is a car guy, he's got 240s and all kind of stuff too. He works at Reed Nissan. And he said, why don't you go over there and I'm going to call them and tell them you're going to come over there and see Derek and talk to him. So I go and I talk to this guy, Derek. I never met him before. He just started talking to me. He said, yeah, you got some good car knowledge. Let's come back in and interview with the service manager. So I went in to interview the service manager, which my interview was like 10 minutes. He asked me if I knew how to type, how many words I could type per minute, which I think was like maybe like 60 or something like that. I have no idea. Yeah. Now I suck. I type with one finger at a time. But he asked me a couple random questions, and he said, all right, you'll be good. So I go to, do the drug test to pass it because I'm a drug-free person. I don't do any drugs,
Nice.
I try to stay healthy. No alcohol either.
Good for you.
And I go in, do the drug test. They call me the next day, say, all right, you're hired. You can start next week. At that time, I had my 240SX, the same one that I built and did a whole bunch of stuff with. It had an RB25, and it was so nice. I blew the motor. So I had no way to get to work to this new job that I needed to go. And there was this group of girls that me and my friend Amr used to hang out with. They were taking me to work for the first week when I first started there until I got my first paycheck to be able to fix my motor, which ended up just being a timing belt. And it wasn't blown. You know how, you're young, you're dumb, you don't know anything about cars. I got some advice. So that's how I got my foot in the door at Nissan. And now here I am. That was, 2011, 2012 time. Now here it is 2022, and I'm still working for Nissan, and it's changed my life. Like, I went from the kid in the barbershop that all the other guys that drove M3s and Mercedes AMGs and all that stuff, and my two-tone 240 with a blown motor and no AC, to where I'm at now, homeowner with, a collection of cars and still collecting.
Too many to count. You don't even know the number off the top of your head.
Sometimes I forget, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But still, I started with a piece of crap job in, a warehouse sweating, and now I'm at here. And when I was 17, 18 years old, I always say this, I never thought I was going to be here.
Yeah.
But it's to me, it's the perseverance. It's like you get up every day and you try to be better every single day. 1% better, 2% better, whatever you think of. Some people scale it. But me, I just want to be better every day, so at the end of the year, I can look back and say, okay, I did all of this last year. That's old news now.
Yeah.
Now I have to do all of this year.
Yeah.
And the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to get up every day, no matter what. If I'm sick, I'm tired, my dog barked all night, and I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to try and make as much money as I can because I work in a commission-based job, and you got to be there to make money no matter what. If you're not there, you ain't making money.
Right.
And it's just like, I'm pretty sure with what you do, if you ain't there to train the people,
that's it.
You ain't going to make no money.
Nope.
So, and I see this with a lot of new kids that come into that place. They're like, oh, I want to make, big-time money. Well, you got to work like at least 5 to 10 years and figure out how you're going to make the big time money. You got to get a customer base. You got to learn how to fix the cars. You got to know what you're talking about. And that all comes with time, experience, patience, consistency, and getting up every day. And every day you show up. Every day you wake up. The guy that's going to be next to me that thinks they're going to do better than me, and I always say this to my girl, I say, they always hire these new people, and they think they're going to be better than me. Not saying I'm the best.
Right.
Because I'm imperfect. Nobody's perfect. But I always tell them, okay, sure. But they always call out. Then they always, fail to do something with a customer. Or they always fail to do this. And then I try to help them, to point them in the right direction, because I'm not arrogant. I like to help people,
Right.
When you get a new job in a new place, you don't know what to do. So I remember when I was first starting in Nissan, nobody wanted to help me. But along came one person, and he's still a good friend of mine, which he went through a really bad hardship early. His name is Joey Cologne. And when he started at Reed Nissan, he showed me how to talk to the customers, how to, communicate with them, how to, explain that this circuit and this microphone is blown because the ohms and the resistance is, negative 0.3, or there's an open circuit in the mic, super technical stuff that some viewers might know or not. But
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, how to test resistance and explain to the customer or the warranty company how to do my job. And because that guy took his time to show me these things and how to explain everything and break mechanical knowledge on me, it made me a whole different type of animal in that industry, And in the industry that I'm in, it's all about knowledge and helping. You know, you got to help every customer that walks through the door.
Right.
I'm sure you've taken your BMW into BMW, Fields BMW, or a service facility somewhere.
Yeah.
The moment you walk in that door and somebody doesn't acknowledge you, and there's just somebody there just like, yo, what's up? Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man? How can I help you? You're going to be like, I'm not going to give this guy none of my money. You know, if you walked in and I was like, "Hey, Alex, how you doing, man? Welcome to Fields BMW. What can I help you with today?" You're gonna be like, "Oh, all right, cool. You know, you want a bottle of water? Here, man. Take a bottle of water while you wait for me to help you."
Listen,
you know?
man, I'll tell you right now, in this very day and age, I think COVID made it 10 times worse. But what you're describing is customer service, and customer service is something that I feel has gone downhill so badly. Yeah. And I don't know if it's because a lot of businesses are struggling to find people to want to work, or what the situation is at hand. If training at businesses has gone downhill, I don't know. But customer service goes such a long way. You could be the best at your craft, but if your customer service sucks, you're not going to get business.
You're not going to get business. No.
Your food could be the best at a restaurant. If you don't at least acknowledge someone walking in and you don't give them the time of day, odds are they're not coming back. I've been in that situation so many times, and I don't know, maybe I've become a big stickler about things like that, but I'm telling you right now, man, the food could be mediocre at a place, and if they're on top of their service, they're super friendly, they
welcoming,
and shoot, they give me a drink for free.
Yeah.
I can promise you'll
be back.
Even if I wasn't super happy with the food, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And I'll probably recommend it to someone else too.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know why that's so hard to understand, and maybe a lot of people just have to learn that with their own experience, but customer service is key, and persistency. So, you know, most people nowadays as well, I think with just the fast pace of life, if you told them you've worked at Nissan for 10 years, they'd be like, geez, dude, that's a long time. I'd be miserable. Most people can't imagine doing something for 10 years straight.
I like my job. I like the 10 years that I put into my job, because it's given me so much out of my life and experiences, and able to go on vacations out of this country and, you know, do everything that I want to do, because I like going in and I like helping the customers. There's a lot of customers, let's just say like the grandma, she comes in. Mm-hmm. She's got a 1999 Nissan Sentra, and she's got a blown engine, or she doesn't have a blown engine. She just has a check engine light for a gas cap. It's so common in my industry that she goes to a Meineke or goes to a Tires Plus or a Firestone, and the 19-year-old kid or even 55-year-old old man that's, you know, the scam artist, you know, and they go in there and they say, well, you need a catalytic converter, coil pack, and, you know, cap and rotor and all this stuff, and your check engine will go away. They know that the old lady's going to pay for it.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to know why? Because the old lady probably doesn't, her husband maybe passed away, her kids don't live in this city. Then she's going to have to fix it, because guess what? That old lady relies on that car to go from point to point. But if that old lady just needed a gas cap and you tell her, hey, Miss Smith, your gas cap was bad, I went ahead and replaced it, it was within the amount you signed for diagnostic, they give her, are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Are Andrew, I don't owe you any more money. They're so shocked
that
I did that, you know? And then you know what happens? When their car needs a transmission flush or all those preventative maintenance things that cars need all the time, you know, to keep on going, she's gonna come back to me, and she's not gonna want to go see you know, Scam Drew at Firestone. She's gonna come see Andrew at Nissan.
Damn right, I mean? That was good. No, and the biggest thing is, I can tell you from firsthand experience, the best form of marketing is word of mouth marketing, and that's free. And guess what? Better than that lady continuously having you having her business for forever until she's, you know,
no longer old and maybe she's cremated. But yes,
correct. She's gonna tell every single one of her friends in her retired community about you guys.
Yep.
And I mean, that in itself is going to build that business tenfold.
And that's a lot of times what happens for me. I'll help one customer and I might just do an oil change, but I was so nice to them that they're like, hey, my daughter's in town and her engine isn't running right, and it might not even be a Nissan. Sometimes they bring me their Toyotas, their Kias, Hyundais, all this stuff. They bring me all kind of cars, and I'll tell them what's wrong with it, and we'll fix it. You know, a mechanic is a mechanic; they can fix anything. When you bring it to a dealership, some people are under the influence, like, oh, I can only bring a Nissan to Nissan. No, you can bring any car to any mechanic. because a mechanic can fix a car. That's what they're trained to do. Yes, we can fix a Nissan faster, but we can still fix whatever. So a lot of times people just bring me whatever car, and I'll just fix it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever's wrong with, just fix it. And I'll tell them everything that's wrong with it. You got, a million things wrong with your car if it's a really bad car. And I'm like, I don't even recommend you to fix the car. There's a lot of guys that if the car is too far gone, they're like, yeah, just put the transmission in it.
Right.
And knowing that they've got oil leaks all in their engine, I said, no, I'll stop it right there. And I'll be like, listen, you put $5,000 in this car, you're not going to be lasting for the $5,000 worth that you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
The car's not worth that much money. Just go trade it in and get a new car. And that's another way I build trust with customers. And I didn't learn this in my first day. My first day I was trying to sell everybody everything, trying to learn the business. Now it's more about the customer service side. Help the customer just get what they're trying to accomplish first. And then once you get past that step, then you can start advising them on what else they need. It's like when you go in a restaurant, get me my water so I can drink it. Then I'll order off your menu. Yeah. You know what I mean? How many times you go into a restaurant and you just want a glass of water because maybe you're dying of thirst, you were on a long road trip and you finally got to your location.
The little things.
It's just give me my glass of water or a soda if I want a soda right now,
Yeah.
And then I'll order something and then they completely forget about the water and like, oh my God, I forgot about the water.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's the little things. It really is. It's the details that matter.
Yeah.
So with that said, guys, if you are in the Orlando, actually, you know what? Let me rephrase
I work
that.
at Nissan Coco now.
Okay, so if you're within the Florida area, I promise you it'll be worth your trip.
Yeah.
To check out Nissan in Cocoa Beach.
Cocoa, Florida.
Is that
it's
not
called
Cocoa
Mike
Beach?
Urban Nissan. No, there's actually Cocoa, and then it turns into Cocoa Beach. And I learned that since I started working at this dealership. I never knew there was. I grew up in Florida. I never knew there was a difference between Cocoa and Cocoa Beach. It's actually two different cities.
Had no idea. Well, we'll leave the address in the description for you guys so you can check them out. But yeah, I mean, clearly you know where to go if you're looking for a Nissan. And do you guys have a variety of other trade-ins, I'm assuming, that are not Nissan?
Yeah, the owner actually owns Toyota, Nissan, and Cadillac.
And are you capable of helping within any of those dealerships?
All of them.
Beautiful. There
you
go.
Whatever they need, I can help them cross whatever they want.
So whoever wants to get a Supra, hit up Andrew.
Yeah, come get a Supra from me. I'll make sure it's fast.
Yes, sir. But all right, so let's move on a little bit. So you've been working there.
Yep.
10 plus years now. Your foreseeable future is going to continue working there, yeah?
Yeah. I plan to work as long as I can because a lot of people, if you're not working, you're probably spending money.
Dude, it's true.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I work 6 days a week by choice.
Mm-hmm.
I should only work 5 days a week. But I work 6 days a week by choice. My only day off is today, Friday. That's it. I take 1 day off a week. And one of the main reasons I take Fridays off is because it's a religious holiday, Islamic holiday. I don't get too far into religion, but
cool. I didn't know that.
It's an Islamic holiday, and you go to the mosque and you pray. And it's usually between 12 and 1 o'clock. You go and you pray and you say thanks to God, Allah, and that's the main reason. Other than that, I can work every other day, and it doesn't bother me like at all. The regular person is like, oh my God, I've already worked 3 days this week.
They count down the hours.
They count down the hours, yes. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's some days where it comes to Thursday and it's like 12 o'clock and I'm like, oh my God, I want to go home.
Sure.
I'm human.
You're human.
But
exactly.
I choose to work that because it's just, if I'm not working, I'm going to spend money. Like, probably once we're done with this podcast, I'm probably going to go to lunch or dinner with my girl. And there's actually a drag race event that Don Omar is putting on Orlando Speedway today.
No way.
That if it's not raining, I'm gonna go, and it's like $45 a ticket, so it's like gonna be me and my girl, and it's me and my girl, and then 2 other people, so that's money, So that's why I work as much as I do, not because I don't want to spend money, because I'm a cheap ass, which I kind of am.
Me too. Unless it comes to car stuff.
Yeah, unless it comes to car stuff or something my girl wants. When she wants something, it's you gotta buy it.
Great. Well, I hope my girlfriend doesn't watch this podcast.
You might give her some ideas.
Oh, boy. But yeah, no, dude, that's funny you say that because I think that all the time. I still do my typical Monday through Friday, long days, but I take the weekends off. And a lot of times I do find myself on the weekends sitting in my house thinking like, dude, I really don't want to spend money. But the second I leave this house,
$100.
Gone. Dude, I mean, like,
Gas alone in your car is $70 probably
Bro,
fill up, right?
I mean, I really consider it is actually. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
So the moment you fill up, $70, then you get to your location.
I just don't get it. Like, I don't even know where the money goes. And then by the end of the weekend, I'm like, I didn't do much, but I definitely am down $500. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah, that goes with inflation now too, which is crazy.
Nuts.
It's because of those stimulus ballers. They wanted all that money.
Bro, I just literally heard on the radio the other day. I actually had to laugh out loud. They were talking about how the government's really going to start cracking down on all the PPP scams that went on during COVID.
My God.
Bro, the Millennium Mall, Gucci store line, Louis Vuitton line, a mile long. All those people, I mean, listen, I'm just saying, all those people are probably going to have to sell their Gucci real quick because, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
They're gonna come into a point where these government people are gonna find them because who would apply in their right mind? What dummy is gonna go to the government and say, I need 10 grand? And next thing you know, you're giving them your social, you're giving them your street address. Bro. And then they were using, what I heard is they were using other people. Like, I would reach out to you and be like, hey, Alex, I can make you 5 grand right now if you just send me all your personal information. And
I believe it.
Dummies were doing it, and they were making more money and all. And I think some people have already gone to jail for it,
I'm sure.
Have some big jail time or fines or stuff like that. But the amount of people that are gonna like fall at fault for this and get incarcerated or fined, it's gonna be more than that $10,000.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's ridiculous.
And the headache that comes with that, dude. It's
yeah.
But hey, I mean, to each their own. They balled out and had fun for the time being. Meanwhile, I was sitting inside doing nothing. But you know,
that was during a period when you were like COVID. It like shut your business down in California, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's essentially why I'm back in Florida. And for many people, COVID was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Me being one of them. You know, overall, you know, long story short, I really I said this on the last podcast too, but it took me several years to build up my personal training business to what it was. In 2019, I had a record year, and ready to top that record year, 2020, March hits, COVID hits, boom, overnight, business shuts down. For over a year, dude, I sat around in San Diego with my girlfriend, literally just going on adventures to LA, doing like whatever car-based stuff, right? Literally, like, bro, I'll put a picture up right now too, but we literally, COVID was so weird. Beverly Hills, like Rodeo Drive, that whole area was a ghost town 99% of the time. And we would literally post up in the middle of the street in Rodeo Drive and have photo shoots with the F80 in front of like the whatever YSL store and stuff.
Didn't
and
they rob those stores? Didn't like they break into some of those?
That was the other weird thing. So I was there still during the time when the whole BLM movement was happening.
The Black Lives Matter stuff,
Yeah, and they had to board up all that stuff. And, dude, I mean, we lived at that time in downtown San Diego, and we would see from our balcony when these riots were happening, the police shooting their, like, sandbag guns at people and stuff. Like, I mean, it was insane. But, yeah, so, you know, a year went by. I couldn't work. None of my clients, because a lot of them were older, wanted me to even come to their house and train. So, ultimately, I said, shoot. What am I doing here? Life's, you know, cost of living so much cheaper in Florida. I got family and friends down there. Let's just, you know, go ahead and pack up and move to Florida. Moved here, rebuilt from scratch essentially. But I kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean that's how I ended up back here, man. And you know, overall, I'm grateful for that because God knows where I'd be if I was still in California. I don't think I would have been able to buy a house and be where I'm at this point. So
yeah, California is super. I went on a vacation for my birthday just recently. I went to Las Vegas and then I drove over to California into LA. I went to Santa Monica Pier, Sacramento or San Diego. I don't remember the other
San
one.
Francisco?
I don't remember the other one that I went to. I forget. It's where the Sunset Cliffs are. Do you know where that is?
Sunset Cliffs. I'm pretty sure it's San Francisco.
My
girlfriend's from San Francisco, so that's embarrassing that I don't know that. Sunset Cliffs sounds very familiar. No, maybe that's San Diego.
I think it's San Diego.
I lived there. I don't know. Possibly.
Yeah, but we went over there, man. That place is... California is nice.
It's gorgeous, dude. It's great. But it's also not worth the cost of living. It's also not worth the shitty roads that you pay extra tax for, and they're garbage. It's not worth the extra income tax. It's not worth a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the cost of living, dude, in my opinion, is not worth it. I'd rather deal with a little bit of humidity here and
A little bit.
a lot of it.
This is Florida, bro. We were washing the car earlier, and I was already sweating for after like 3 minutes. And I lived in my
Yeah,
life.
and you don't ever get used to that. But the reality, too, is we do have several months here in Florida where it's gorgeous. I mean, fall, winter, even spring is, in my opinion, very nice here.
Yeah.
So, you deal with it a little bit and or a lot of it, as you say, and then you enjoy the rest with half the cost.
Yeah, no, Florida is nice. I love this place. Every time I go on vacation somewhere and I come back, I'm always like, nah, I like where I live.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we live in the middle of a vacation state where all of your family members, you have family in Germany, right?
Yeah,
Or
all my family's in
all
Germany.
your family, they come over here and they probably like, yeah, let's go to Disney, let's go to Universal.
Yeah.
And then everybody comes here and then they branch off and do whatever else they want. But this is like the main hotspot for tourists in the United States, I feel like. So.
And I mean, I don't think we can deny that Florida is like one of the hottest places, not weather-based, but one of the hottest destinations to move to currently. I mean, since COVID hit, dude, Miami's popping off. Miami's growing. It's like literally going to be the newest, what do they call it, Silicon Valley. All the tech stuff's moving to Miami. Tampa's growing like by the second. Tampa's a huge, place now too. Orlando's steadily growing. So I think give it another 10 years, Florida's going to be even more in demand and prices of everything will go up more here. But the thing is, we're established here for the most part, so we're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
You know what I mean?
New people coming. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. But still, it's a good place to move to. So yeah, man. I mean, I think overall, I'm already happy with this podcast, dude. It's good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, man.
In regards to your job, your career, and everything. Actually, hold on a minute. I can't believe you didn't mention this. So let's touch on Addiction Motorsports a little real quick, dude.
I didn't get into it because I was waiting for you to ask me the question.
I'm sorry,
bro.
you're right, dude.
You know?
This is my second podcast. I know I need to lead. I'm learning. But so Addiction Motorsports. Go ahead.
So Addiction Motorsports and Performance Parts is the legal name of the business. Most people know it as just Addiction Motorsports. It's something I started because I love cars and I want to spread that passion across to, first and foremost, friends and family. So if they want to buy car parts, and I started it on a website. First it was word of mouth, and I started on a website. I built the website on a big commerce site. I did it all myself. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I recommend next time for anybody to hire somebody to integrate everything, which is one thing that I learned too. Don't hire just anybody. Which absolutely. I did hire somebody to help me with search engine optimization. And
we won't mention who I know. I remember. Yeah.
I hired somebody for that, and this person told me that they were going to do all these things. And, I knew how to monitor that stuff. I'm not a tech geek, but you put me in front of a computer, and I'm going to know if you change something or not. So he was telling me he was doing all this stuff, and nothing changed. No traffic to the website. Paying close to, $700 a month for this guy to do this kind of stuff. And I was getting more traffic to the website on my own. He would say he would train something and this. And the website did generate some revenue. Did it generate a profit to take me out of what I spent? No. So a lot of times I would get, a lot of emails and orders and things like that, or orders and order cancelizations or whatever you want to say, cancelizations.
Cancellations.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And people would try to scam you, man. There was one time on Facebook, this guy ordered an intercooler and got it delivered to Sand Lake Road, which you're from here. You know where Sand Lake Road is. That's probably like 30 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
And he said it never got delivered. And I had to fight with him on that case. I was running stuff on eBay. eBay was doing well. And then I was drop shipping majority of the products that I have, primarily VRSF stuff, because that's what a lot of guys, the turbo BMW guys, that stuff was hot when I started. And everybody was just ordering downpipes like crazy. And there was a situation where I had Facebook. This guy ordered probably tons of parts. And Facebook, the way they work is they give me the money, right? The buyer gets their parts. They don't release the money until I put a shipping, tracking number.
Okay.
Put a tracking number in, and then after I put a tracking number in, then they'll send me my funds 3 days later. Well, once I do that and the customer receives their goods, they can just go in there and say they never received the goods.
Yeah.
This guy tried to scam me for like $5,000. He ordered like tons of stuff, all related to one type of car. And people make orders like that. I'm sure you've went on a website and ordered a bunch of parts for a singular car, so it didn't look sketchy to me because people have done it before.
Sure.
And that was one of the main things that drove me out of the online sales side of it. You know, so I did shut down the website. I still do have all my accounts. I still legally own the business and everything. So if anybody needs anything, they still can reach out to me. My Instagram is still active. It's at Addiction Motorsports, so I'm sure you'll link it somewhere around in one of these areas in the video.
We'll do.
And people now, I think, like we were talking about with the customer service side of it, people are more friendly to go into a business where they're going to talk to somebody and say, hey, especially when it has to do with cars, right? Because you've got these giants out there like in Juku Racing, Drift HQ. I'm sure you've heard of them when you're building all these giants out there that have established themselves so well that I was trying to go up against, and it was like, dude, I can't get no traffic from these people. All I wanted to generate, like looking at the scale, the business is like a $3 billion business, you know, yearly. People spend $3 billion a year on aftermarket performance parts.
Wow.
I just wanted to capture like 0.01% of that.
Sure.
You know,
which you still, I still think you can. And the thing is, I've heard so many stories, horror stories over the years of like what you've said. And I know Matt from Lowered Lifestyle, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he's posted so many times online too about how people, order a whole air ride setup and then say that same garbage. And then he has to fight with PayPal forever to and it's like, I don't know why people suck so much, dude. Like,
and the people don't realize that I'm using my money to buy the parts, until I can save up enough money for inventory.
Right.
I didn't even get to that level. I didn't get to the level where I can start to have inventory because I got scammed on so many different occasions that the scammers won, and it cost me money. So it's just like the profits I would generate would go right back into, filling back the negative voids.
Right.
So it's just was like, dude,
there's got to be a way around it, though, dude. Because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can help you look into that, too, or we can talk to someone else that runs a very successful business, online that way. But obviously, online is the world we live in now. And I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to protect yourself, a specific way to only take payments where you can't really scam as easily or something. But dude, there's so much potential there. And, I mean, I appreciate you. I remember when I was starting to build the E46 drift car, and I was building the 2J. That car's
here now, right?
Yeah, sitting in my garage.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know, and I got to get back to that, man. It's just I've had other priorities, but I ordered, I think, my Garrett Turbo from you. I ordered a bunch of parts through you, and it arrived to San Diego flawlessly, right? So it's not, dude, it's definitely such a scalable business, and I'd love to help you with that too. It's just, I guess it's going to take a little more research, and now that you've kind of stepped back from it a little, you should really figure out a way to bulletproof it as much as possible and then roll with it again. I mean, even if you stay at Nissan, so what? This is such an incredible business you can scale on the side, and just like I started this whole YouTube podcast thing as a passion project that, I'm assuming it will turn into something bigger. That can be your passion project that turns into something bigger as well. So
yeah, and the ultimate goal is to have a shop. That is the ultimate goal.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I want to turn it into a shop, and I'm switching my gears in that term and just invest my money in something that I know, because every day I wake up and I go to a shop and I help run the shop.
Yeah.
And I help make money for the shop. And if I can do that for somebody else, I can do that for myself.
Absolutely.
So if I know the logistics and the inside and the customer service side of what people like as a shop, then I can do that on my own. And that's where I'm trying to. The end result is that. And along with having Addiction Motorsports as the baseline where, I'm going to do regular maintenance because, like I said, the 99-year-old grandma with the 99 Sentra is going to need her car to get fixed, and she's going to need a trustworthy face. And that's the face I want to be in the industry at the same time, capture that business. But then when my friends like you call me and say, hey, I want to put on Akrapovic exhaust or something like that, or I want to get a new clutch and put it in my F80, or hey, what would you charge me to do this? I want to be on appointment-wise for customers like that and have the regular side of the shop, and take care of cars from domestic imports, all kind of stuff, exotics, everything, and then still also do the performance side of it, because that is my passion. I'm not going to give up on it. I still have a board in my room that it has Addiction Motorsports and Performance Parts LLC, and then also has a whole bunch of my investment stuff that I do too.
Yeah.
And that's the basis for what I want to do. I want to have the shop. I want to have the online business still. I want to have all of it going, but I want to have that physical location, because one thing they don't tell you about these online businesses is most of these online businesses have a brick and mortar location, and there's a lot of accounts that you can get with better discounts. This is just insider information for anybody that's out there. You can get better discounts if you have a brick and mortar location, which is, for people who don't know what a brick and mortar location is, it's a business, an actual place you drive
whether
up
it's
to.
a warehouse or actual
a physical
storefront.
location that has an office and a storage facility
Right.
where you can store stuff. You get better discounts, and sometimes those companies will say, I don't have a distribution center in the Midwest or in Orlando, Florida, which I'm pretty sure there's a ton of people. Or I don't have somebody in St. Cloud, Florida, that has these type of distribution. I need somebody out there.
Yeah.
And they, that's a door that can open where they can say, I'm going to keep all my stuff here and you ship it out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ways to make money in the business in that terms, where you're just the warehouse distributor for them, but you make a profit off of everything you ship out for them.
Right.
And there's different ways, and I have a good idea what I want, but I just need to get it,
the ball rolling
and get it bulletproof. But there's different things, life comes up.
For sure, dude. And I mean, everything in due time. And as long as you have a vision and you start, to execute it piece by piece, dude, it's going to go somewhere. I mean, you already took the initiative to start up Addiction Motorsports in general, right? So now it's just a matter of phase 2 of Addiction Motorsports, lock down that location. And then I really would highly suggest trying to tackle online sales again on the side too.
Yeah.
Because then you can tap into the rest of the world, or
it's
at least
the
US,
market.
You know what I mean? Opposed to just this little area we live in. So I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah,
I
me
can't
too.
wait to see where that goes.
Yeah, me too. I just got to get it started.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But dope, dude. Should we go mob around in these cars?
We could do it, man. They all got gas. Hopefully they start.
So, yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't checked out all the other videos that we've done, keep in mind, we don't just do podcasts. We do podcasts, and then we also go ahead and shoot car footage inside and outside the car. We have Faster Media, who kills it with these edits. So now you get to kind of see all of Andrew's hard work and where his money goes for the most part.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, I appreciate you. Is there any other links or shout outs you wanted to give?
No, just everybody who does watch this, just work hard, try your best at whatever you do. And everybody who does watch this that knows me, I appreciate everything that everybody's ever done for me in my life, from friends, family, people I've met. I don't remember everybody off the top of my head, but thank you to everybody that's helped me to get to where I am now.
I love it, dude. Yeah. I love it. That's awesome, man. And, biggest thing that I'm going to keep saying every single video for Driven To is that my big vision with Driven To as a company, as a brand, is not just materialistic things, cars and whatever else this leads into, but I really do want to also give back with Driven To. And so, anytime I interview someone, if you have your own charity foundation or charity or foundation that you give to, I'll always link that in the description as well. And, it's just a matter of the car community helped me so much in my life in a positive way that I also, being part of the car community, want to give back and make it greater than just the car community, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I don't care if I'm helping animals, people, whatever.
Just want to help.
Yes, I'm driven to help the world become a better place, essentially. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my vision with this. I think as time goes on and this all evolves, the vision will be a little more clear. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. So with that said, let's go mob around these cars, dude.
Yeah, let's do this.
Awesome. All right, guys. See ya.
See ya.